Ashley Dvorkin with a Fox Celebrity Profile with actor Barry Keoghan, who's part of the new film Bird by Oscar-winning writer-director Andrea Arnold. He plays the single father of a 12-year-old girl on a search for attention and adventure, who meets a stranger named Bird on his own journey. Keoghan signed on for the project without even reading the script.
I wanted to work with Andrea Arnold for so long. I mean, I think she's, if not the best, I really mean that. She's got this way of telling stories that is not invasive. You know, it's almost like we were allowed and we have a license to be there. And there was no script. That's the ironic part about it. That's a credit to Andrea and the trust I have in her and the confidence that I would sign on with a log line. It's she told me what character I'm going to play. You know, I had no idea how this movie was going or where it was going until until I seen it. I did not know what it was about. I loved it. I love that approach, and I'm always looking to kind of step into a new adventure.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
This is Fox News Talk.
Headline Rewind.
1987. Jim and Tammy Baker.
We can't say we've learned a good lesson. We've learned it. I hate that it took this many years to learn it. I'm getting a little old for starting over again.
I refuse to submit my family and my friends and innocent people and myself to further rumors and gossip. I believe I would have been a successful candidate. I know I could have been a very good president, but apparently now we'll never know.
I realize there's a lot of folks around that think there's a loose cannon on the Gundeck estate at the NSC. People used to walk up to me and tell me what a great job I was doing.
In Robert Bork's America, there is no room at the inn for blacks and no place in the Constitution for women. And in our America, there should be no seat on the Supreme Court for Robert Bork.
She's crying and humming and sometimes singing. She goes to sleep at periods of time.
News as it happened. News as it happens.
This is Fox News Talk.
This is House Call for Health. Costco is recalling nearly 80,000 pounds of butter because the package lacked the disclaimer that it contains milk. It has since been cleared from shelves, but some customers were left scratching their heads over the issue.
Everyone knows that butter is made from milk, so why wouldn't there be milk? That doesn't make any sense.
The recalled butter lists cream, but may be missing the contains milk statement, according to the FDA. By law, the Food and Drug Administration says companies have to label food products that have specific ingredients, including milk, eggs, and fish, among others. Best buy dates on the recalled butter are all in early 2025. February 22nd and 23rd, and March 22nd, 23rd, and 29th. Costco says the recalled butter all came in 4-ounce sticks. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A backyard decorated with skeletons, and the woman who says it helped her through a rough time makes today's Dean's List. Tammy says for 19 days she would drive by a house that had a dozen skeletons on display. Every day the family would change the scene, not realizing the impact it was having on her journey to and from cancer treatment. Tammy decided to write a note and share how the spooky scene got her through some very rough days. The letter said this: "A highlight of my journey has been checking to see who else had joined the Bone family and what they were up to. Thankfully this week I have my final radiation treatment. Thanks for the diversion, Tammy." But that's not all. The homeowner, whose displays made Tammy's day, decided to celebrate her last day of treatment by having the skeletons hold up a sign that said, "You did great. Way to go, Tammy." Janice Dean, Fox News.
Thanksgiving, here we are, Fox Across America. Jimmy's off, but don't forget, get your tickets to the Fox Nation Comedy Night coming up. It's going to be a blast, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, my next guest, she is a blast every time she's on Fox News Saturday Night with Jimmy Fallon, which was last Saturday night, as a matter of fact. She's Brianna Lyman, elections correspondent for The Federalist, and she's on X at Brianna Lyman 2. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Rich, it is a pleasure to be on radio with you instead of TV.
I know, but I did feel kind of like you were cheating on me the other night, being on the panel without me. I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit awkward for me.
It felt weird without you, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It was like he broke up the band. It's like Fela broke up the band. But you did a great job. You knocked it out of the park, as you always do. And I'm glad you came back on, because as soon as they asked me to fill in for Jimmy, no joke, first guest I asked for was you. And that's because you were on my radio show in Philadelphia on election night. We were having a great chat, great conversation. And then I had to bump you for another guest. And I hate doing that. And I would never do that, except the guest was Donald Trump. And it's the only reason why, but I've felt bad ever since. So I said to Mike, I said, book Brianna. So I can apologize to her before the entire nation. I can grovel.
You know what? I've never complained once about a man apologizing in front of a bunch of people, so go for it.
Has Mark Cuban apologized yet, by the way?
No, I think he's probably doing what Kamala seems like she's been doing, which is tossing back a few cold ones.
Oh, let's play this clip so we can laugh about it together. This is the shorter of the two. Cut number one.
We raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion. The outcome of this election obviously is not what we wanted. It is not what we worked so hard for. But I am proud of the race we ran. So look, we still have a lot to fight for, okay?
Doesn't that sound like somebody who just got dumped? And they're trying to, or like you're like a drunk friend trying to cheer up your friend who just got dumped?
Yeah, I mean, and the way she looked so disheveled and just out of it. And you have to wonder, who approved this, or why didn't someone say, hey, Kamala, you think we can do like another take or 5, kind of nail this one down? And such that she was like leaning over a bar counter like, let me tell you something. It was just very uncomfortable. And it's also an odd message to send right now, because for months we have been told that, if Donald Trump wins, everything goes kaput, people are going to be in concentration camps the whole 9, and she still says you have all the same rights. Oh, you don't say. You're kidding.
Yeah, right. You mean we can still fight for the things that are important to us? That's shocking. Yeah. And the press can still report because they're not in journalist internment camp? I mean, this is amazing stuff, Brianna.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you how much of a farce every single thing that they campaigned on was. I said it, the day after she gave her concession speech, when she said, don't worry, like, everything will be okay. And it's like, actually, for not half, but, maybe a quarter of America, there are people who genuinely believe that they were going to be, murdered, or, like you said, thrown in a concentration camp, what have you, because they bought the lies of Kamala and Joe Biden and the Democratic Party hook, line, and sinker. They really believe that there was some existential threat to them. And of course there's not, so that's not what this campaign was about at all. But they lied to fearmonger, and when the race is over, Kamala can walk away and go to Hawaii and have a few drinks, and there's no big deal, because she knew everything was a lie. But some people didn't.
By the way, she drinks so much she might have tried to walk to Hawaii. We've all had a friend who does that. You're like, no, you can't. I'm not driving. I know, but you still can't walk to Hawaii either. So let me play this clip for you. I want to get your reaction to this. So this is a debate. I love how there's this big debate going on right now about the reasons why they lost. And here's Donna Brazil and Bill Maher talking about woke as the reason or not reason. Cut 14.
Immigration, as I said, inflation was something. The Biden-Harris administration, they wrestled with that through the supply chain, through trying to lower the cost, making sure that people could afford their groceries and their gas. But still, childcare became a big issue. Housing, cost of housing. So while I do believe that they've made significant gains, there's no question immigration became an issue. But I'm not going to get into this, the people are too damn woke. That wasn't an issue. What happened?
Yeah, it was.
I disagree with you.
I know, and that's why you're going to keep losing.
That's why you're going to keep losing. I agree with Bill Maher. I think woke is a huge issue. It was a huge issue in this election. Brianna Lyman, what do you think?
I agree. And, woke does tie into the immigration issue. Donna Brazil's right to correctly identify one of the biggest issues was immigration. But let's look at the two different approaches. Republicans have had an approach of, if you're here illegally, we will deport you. We'll start off by deporting people who have already gone through due process and have been, identified as needing to be removed from the country, so on and so forth. We're also going to make sure we have strong borders. Whereas the woke approach to immigration is, we should have open borders, let these people stay here, let them mooch off the taxpayers. How dare you want to kick migrants out of hotels funded by the taxpayers? So woke does infiltrate every single key aspect of this election. And I think Bill Maher is right to say, if you don't recognize that, and you don't recognize that the Democrats Democratic approach to solutions has always included the woke frame, then you are going to keep losing.
Yeah, and people are tired of walking on eggshells, and they're tired of always feeling like there's going to be this conflict if they say the wrong thing. And we saw that throughout the last 4 years with the weaponization of government, and that's why I love the appointment of Jay Bhattacharya, for example. He's a guy that was also censored, though, for putting out information. Woke goes even further because it also got into censorship under the guise of misinformation, disinformation, hate speech. Like, it started out kind of being like, maybe it seemed harmless in some ways. I never thought it was, but people might have thought it was harmless to just use the politically correct terms. But it went way further than that, Brianna. And I think a lot of people got tired of it and just said, I want to be able to express my opinion. I want to be able to say what I believe. And there were a lot of silent voters, particularly in the suburbs, particularly suburban women, I think, who fit into that category.
Absolutely, and I think they saw for the past 4 years, the Biden-Harris regime has engaged in one of the most egregious scandals that does not get nearly enough attention, and that is censoring people they disagree with. They work with social media companies. I think the Supreme Court got it wrong a few months ago with their ruling that basically permits social media companies to continue censoring Americans, and the Biden-Harris administration put their full weight behind it. And I think that independent voters and maybe low propensity Republican voters, they were aware of this, they saw it, and those are the things that motivated them to turn out this election cycle.
What do you make of, since you are the elections correspondent, I want to play another clip for you. This is David Plouffe, obviously from Obama's campaign, a smart guy. He's on Pod Save America and talking about how hard it is for Democrats to win battleground states now, cut number 7.
It's always worth reminding people. It's really hard for Democrats to win battleground states. For Democrats to win battleground states, it is a false choice. You want to maximize your base, of course. And that was a place where we spent enormous time, a lot of resources. That's critical. And obviously, I think in Milwaukee, just to use that as an example, we hit our turnout targets, fell a little bit short in Philly and Detroit. So that's not good. That's part of the equation. You've got to couple that with dominating in the middle. Not just winning it a little. We have to dominate the moderate vote.
Dominate the moderate vote? But none of these people are moderates, Brianna.
Exactly, and so that's what they don't understand. Chris Murphy, he's a senator from Connecticut, a Democrat. He's coming out recently, and he's been tweeting a lot about this, saying the Democratic Party kind of has to not necessarily realign themselves, but look at the problems that the average working American says is at the top of their list, and then shift their party to fit that. Do I think this is going to be a long-lasting trend in the Democratic Party to look back at what happened? No. I think we'll get a few more weeks of them trying to pretend that they're trying to fix things, and they're going to fall back into the same old, woke realignment that they've been in. That being said, Republicans have become the moderate candidate. Not that they were ever, the far-right candidate, but a lot of the policies of a 90s Democrat, take abortion, Bill Clinton, safe, legal, and rare, it's actually an ideal held by a lot of Americans. And so when Democrats go full throttle and say, well, you should be able to abort up until the day before birth, that turns voters off. You think of immigration, in the early 90s, there was a bipartisan commission, Republicans and Democrats, and they wanted to close the border. They wanted to figure out a way to stop illegal immigration, right? So it was a bipartisan concern, whereas now Democrats have turned a blind eye to immigration. They only cared about it for the past few months because they thought that they could lie to the American public, pretend they're pro-strong border, and that it would trip them. But now, after the election, we're seeing everybody say, if you even come into this state, there's going to be a fight. So you lied to your constituents when you said you cared about a strong border?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. They've come so far on these different issues, and then I was thinking in terms of Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, because already, obviously, 2028, the battle is going to be underway very quickly, and I pray to God Kamala's the nominee again. I would just love that. So I really hope she does run, and I hope she wins, and that would be fantastic. But this idea that now the Democrat Party has to find its footing, and in the corners, Bernie Sanders, whose movement was completely extinguished, who was pushing a lot of the same kind of populist ideals that Trump was pushing back then, and talking about workers and bringing back American jobs and fighting for the American worker. But the Democrat Party literally squashed that because they couldn't control him and maneuvered the process in 2016, maneuvered the process in 20, and then they maneuvered it again in 24.
Yeah, I disagree a little. Bernie Sanders, I understand the idea that he could be a populist in some aspects, but ultimately he is a socialist, which isn't, populism. And I think what Democrats forget is that they also aren't populist, nor will they ever be. They're globalists. And we know they're they're globalists because every single policy that they have, the way we fund all these foreign countries, get involved in foreign wars, and have open borders, and try to demean Americans for wanting to have American culture and not wanting it to be diluted by people who come here and don't want to assimilate. That's a globalist mentality. You can never be a populist if you inherently hate your country, and everything the Democrats have done indicates they don't like this country.
Now, what for Thanksgiving? I got to ask you: deep fry the turkey or bake it?
You know, I'm going to be honest. Ever since 10 years ago, when my grandfather died, my mother will not clean a turkey because she gets turkey breast, which is not the same as a good old turkey because she's grossed out by it.
Oh man, that is low energy. I'm sorry. Well, all right, mashed potatoes or sweet?
Mashed potatoes, but we'll have both.
All right, good answer. Apple pie or pumpkin?
We have both, but I'm making a delicious apple crisp, which I'm very excited about.
Brianna Lyman's making an apple crisp. Whoa, what kind of apples are you using for that?
I use Granny Smith. I think any other apple doesn't cook well. I'm also going to be cooking a shepherd's pie, some chicken pot pie, so a lot of pies, technically.
Are you going to be posting this to social media?
Absolutely. I'm not going to be slaving away for hours and not get some credit.
All right, well, good. Well, we'll make sure that we follow you at Brianna Lyman, too, on social media so we can see your great work on Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to it. Well, listen, my friend, it was a joy to catch up. I'm sorry you got bumped for President Trump last time you were on my show, but I will make it up to you again and have you back in Philly, and hopefully Jimmy will let us be together again, united on his Saturday night show at some point very, very soon. But in the meantime, have a great Thanksgiving, a blessed Thanksgiving, and thanks for all you do. You're a great contributor to the fight. And by the way, you're crushing it on Fox News. Every time I turn on the freaking channel, you're on. I don't know how you do it, but you're on Fox News more than Jimmy somehow.
I wish one day.
All right. Take care, Brianna.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Now, Trucker Mike is on hold. Let me go to Trucker Mike. He has a lot to say here on Fox Across America. Let's hear from him. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Rich, I've spoken to you before on Jimmy's show. You do a great job, buddy.
Thank you, pal. I appreciate that. What's going on?
Hey, so you've been on Jimmy's show enough, and you do the wine or pills game.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a different take on it. I watched those videos of Kamala. She's been in Hawaii for weeks. She is higher than Snoop Dogg. It is hot. She is smoking. Look at her eyes. You can tell that woman is high as a kite. What do you think?
Well, didn't she say at one point she was Jamaican? Did she say it to Charlemagne the God, kind of insinuating that she smokes pot?
Oh, I absolutely. So, I don't think it's wine or pills. I think it's pot.
All right. Well, I would love to do a talk screen on that. Wouldn't you, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. She is baked like that turkey tomorrow.
Mike, you deep frying the turkey or baking it? What are you doing?
Oh, deep frying, buddy.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the only way to go, bud. And make sure you thaw it before. You should have been thawing it yesterday if you're going to fry it,
Yeah, if you thought if you drop it in when it's frozen, it's a bomb. Basically, it's going to shoot into the sky. It's not good. And if you're an idiot and deep fry a turkey with oil in the house and your house burns down, that's called Darwinism. That's evolution, all right? That's on you.
Absolutely. Rich, you're doing a great job, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Mike. You too, buddy. Drive safe. God bless. I appreciate it. Tickets on sale now for Fox Nation's first ever night of comedy hosted by your radio buddy, Jimmy Fallon. Join us live Thursday, December 12th at the Tillis Center on Long Island, Strong Island, featuring Adam Carolla, Jim Brewer, and Anthony Rodia. What a night. What a night. Get your tickets now at foxacrossamerica.com. And if you're in Clearwater, Florida, Jimmy's going to be down there this Saturday night. So get your tickets to see Jimmy this Saturday night at foxacrossamerica.com as well. More to come. Don't go away.
A man who's teaching Americans how to coexist.
You're a racist. I hope you die. He has no home here.
This is Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, I'm Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Join me every Tuesday as we cover the full range of topics that are on your mind and speak with some brilliant, talented, thoughtful women and men who have excelled in their respective fields and careers. Plus, every Thursday is your turn. You get to be the lawyer, and you get to ask the questions about whatever is foremost on your mind.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Streaming now on Fox Nation.
These are stories of the saints.
Martin Scorsese presents The Saints,
I speak in the name of the one true God.
an exclusive new series hosted and narrated by Martin Scorsese.
You believe you were sent by God?
Yes.
Each episode will explore the lives and sacrifices of historical saints on their journey to sainthood.
This is what I was born for.
Martin Scorsese presents The Saints, streaming now. Part of Fox Faith on Fox Nation. Go to foxnation.com and sign up today. The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
An 88-year-old man from Virginia who was rewarded for his 700 hours of volunteer service makes today's Dean's List. Earl Skip Bottoms from Richmond was honored with the Acts of Kindness Award. Skip has been volunteering at St. Mary's Hospital 3 days a week for 7 years. He does everything from delivering papers to helping patients in wheelchairs get to where they need to go. Skip also loves to listen to stories and tell his own to brighten everyone's day. He also loves volunteering with Meals on Wheels twice a week and rescues animals, driving them to safe sanctuaries to be placed in new homes. When he found out he was the winner of a kindness award from the community, he was speechless. No one was surprised when Skip said he would donate all of his cash to help a friend who was homeless. Skip Bottoms from Richmond, Virginia, you are amazing. And you made the Dean's List. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Thanksgiving Day on Fox. It's a day to celebrate with family, friends, and neighbors.
This has been a feast.
And who needs turkey when you got lamb?
A little shake and bake.
Giants, Cowboys. Thanksgiving Day at 4 Eastern on Fox.
We're bringing the thunder to football. Fox Weather is storming the field with the risk of weather impact on the hottest NFL games this season. Listen to Storming the Field every Friday on foxnewspodcasts.com.
I'm Ashley Dvorkin with a Fox Celebrity Profile with Kekoa Kekumano of Fox's Rescue High Surf. The actor shared his favorite fan feedback so far.
The local people, I think they're really enjoying it. I think they really feel a connection to my character, especially because being from here and stuff. I think they like to see a lot of the little humor and the jokes that I'll make. And for a local person to hear that on the big screen, I think they take a lot of appreciation to it.
As a former lifeguard, he enjoys hearing from those who do this in real life.
My ex-co-workers and, just first responders in general, I think